Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Shelter Tales. I'm Connie Galley, and with me today are Pam Knockline and Jody Macrina. Your name was a lot easier to say. And Nicholas. And usually I always remember the animal name and I don't remember the people, and I'm going to ask them 3 times. I remember the animal name. They are with Protectors of Animals. You've seen Protectors of Animals here twice now in the past 3 years. Once with a dog and a Shih-Tzu Ibu, who got adopted quite rapidly after that, and then once with a cat named Snowball, who was a white wonder, and he got adopted the next day. Mm-hmm. So this does work, apparently. Somebody's watching. The reason Protectors of Animals is here today, we're going to talk about Nicholas in a bit, but they just will be opening a new low-cost spay and neuter clinic January 10th, did you say?
Absolutely.
January 10th. Is that now? You've got 2 locations. I think Manchester, where you do the adoption events, and East Hartford?
No.
Or is that changed?
No, our cat adoption center is in East Hartford, in the same building that the spay-neuter clinic will be in.
And that address is?
At 144 Main Street in East Hartford. Mm-hmm. And our dogs are in 2 separate kennel locations.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. I remember there was 2 locations because one was having a fun. We had an ice cream fundraiser, so I do remember. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's no reason to ask you why you started this low-cost spay-neuter clinic, but we're going to talk about Nicholas here for a minute, who's a wonderful cat. Unfortunately, folks, he's adopted. He was adopted 2 days after he came in. Somebody dumped him. He is only 4 to 5 months old now, so he's going to be a big boy, but they dumped him in a feral colony. And now, does that look like a cat that's feral? And a volunteer found him and brought him in. Yeah, you're a honey. Yeah, you're a honey. And so this is what happens. It happens too many times. For people like us that work in shelters or volunteer in shelters, it is heart-sickening to see this. Look at this guy. You know, he would have been on the streets. The lifespan's only 2 years when you're on the streets. There's just no need to dump a cat. There are too many places that will take them in. This little guy was just spayed and neutered, and took a car ride he wasn't too happy with. But he's already been, look how calm. He's been purring, he gave me kisses. So tell me, will you be pulling from not only the general community that adopt cats that need to be spayed, neutered, or can other no-kill shelters also come to you?
We will definitely work with shelters,
because that's
rescues.
A big chunk of their money, their fundraising efforts, because
Absolutely.
they have to pay vets.
And I think that we understand, Protectors of Animals, we understand that how the other rescues are in need of help.
Absolutely.
Also, and it is a community, and we all have maybe different ideas of how we do rescue, but we all have that same need to get the animals spayed and neutered at an affordable cost so we can continue our mission.
Now, is it going to be run or helped by local doctors who will be giving their time, or do you have a doctor that's going to be on staff all the time? Or
Nope, I am Pam Knockline, and I'm the clinic director. I have actually had a facility like this previously, a high-volume, high-quality, low-cost spay-neuter clinic. What makes this really different from having your pet spayed at a local veterinarian, it's going to be top-notch care, just like you would get at your own local vet. But we're able to do a much higher volume, so we'll be able to meet the need in a more quick fashion, especially for rescues and shelters that really want to get those animals taken care of so they can be adopted. And by that sheer volume, be able to keep our prices very, very low by just really working really hard to get them spayed and neutered.
And that's a wonderful thing. Are you going to be open 6 days a week, 5 days a week? You're going to need an appointment, I'm sure, because you don't have 25,000 people coming one day. A cat, you know.
We'll do 25 to 30 surgeries a day when we're at our peak.
Dogs or cats, right?
Dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats.
We'll be answering the phones all the time. We'll be open Tuesday through Thursday to start. That is the plan.
Okay.
We will certainly take calls from rescues, shelters, the community. The goal will be to make it possible for every person who wants to get their pet spayed or neutered. A large percentage of the animals that we'll get calls from, I'm sure, for the people is cats that are found in the yard, strays, good Samaritans who want to take an animal in, it showed up in their yard, but they just can't afford to spend a few $100s to get it vaccinated and spayed. We want to help that so that animal can stay in that home. That's really the goal.
He's in hunt mode. He just saw somebody in there. He made me turn my head away from the camera. I'm like, what is he looking at?
But I do actually have a full staff. We have a very experienced veterinarian that we've hired who has done high volume, high quality spay neuter. Oh, he is checking out the back room there.
Somebody's moving around. I don't know who it is, but like, ooh, that just
All right,
freaked
you
him
know
out.
what? I think I'm
He
gonna
can go
put you
back in the
back,
cage.
sweetheart.
But this is one
Yeah.
of the guys that they helped, and look at the quality of that cat.
Yeah, and I think if the
And he
public-
doesn't want to go in his cage.
Okay, let's see.
Okay,
we
Nicholas.
have a trick to do this. Here, sweetheart. You gotta go in that way.
We got to see who freaked him
All
out in the
right,
kitchen.
There you are. Okay, darling.
Good boy,
Yeah,
Nicholas.
he's actually going to his home later today, so this will
so
be
he'll
his
be
little
happy.
home
This is
Yeah.
while later.
This is going to be his happy day. Happy day. So you were saying you have like a staff that's going to be
Very trained staff, very experienced staff. That's very necessary to be able to do that volume of space and neuters without ever compromising care in an efficient manner. The way I've heard it described before for a facility that really has this mission focus, we want to work like a well-oiled machine. We want to have the empathy and compassion for the clients who really are trying to do the right thing. We want to take care of those pets as if they're our own, and just feel really good at the end of the day that we really made a difference in reducing overpopulation.
Now, part of that's going to be dealing with, you and I talked about Russ Bergeron, who's with the Feral Cats at East Windsor. He does great work.
Yep.
And I mean, that's his it's a full-time job, unpaid full-time job for him. He helped us out when we had strays around an office building.
Yep.
And when we left that office building, somebody else in the office it was really odd. It was a very professional organization that did milling for machinery for aircraft, and they let us build a catscape out in the side where it would be out of the weather. We fed them for 2 or 3 years. Russ did trap and neuter them. So one of them got adopted as a baby, never did adjust though, the feral. And then when we left, somebody else in the office took over feeding them. And I just ran into Russ, and he said, 3 years and going, because ferals usually only, like we talked about him, last 2 years. So another big part of your mission is going to be the feral cats that you can trap, neuter, and release, because that reduces, and I think within 2 years the colony's gone. I hate to say that, but
the
it
idea is
brings the
quality of
colony
life,
down.
but by attrition. If
Yeah,
you
by
spay and
attrition.
neuter everybody, give them
Right.
quality of life, feed
Yeah.
them, shelter them, spay neuter so they don't reproduce, vaccinate them for rabies, critical.
Oh, you do that, all the vaccinations,
Oh,
to get them outside?
vaccinations, flea deworming, we'll do what we can for ferals while they're there.
Okay.
And the opportunity of having the spay-neuter clinic will allow us to expand that
Maybe-
TNR program, because it's, costing us more right now to have them
At the
vetted.
startup, I am sure.
So it will allow us to help more people who are dealing with a colony of stray cats.
Yeah, I have always wanted to find a kitten in my backyard. Never. I always have to go and pay for them.
Be careful
Yeah,
what you
we-
wish
yeah, we
for.
try to run that's unfortunately.
I just want a kitten.
Yeah, and when you, as far as what TNR is, trapped, neuter, release, these are cats that were either abandoned, that have reverted to an unsocialized state, or a few cats are left behind, they have a few different litters, and the cats never know that people are good. And we at POA often take kittens in that are from a colony and try to work with them,
Try to
tame them, and
socialize.
actually place quite a few.
So socialize them.
But
yeah.
many times they're not cats that would be
Right.
happy in a shelter, so the
Right.
most we can do is medically care for them and make sure they're provided with shelter and food.
Well, this cat was somebody's pet, because I've never seen such a love bug, and he's yelling because he wants to be out with people. I mean,
Which
this
to me is
perfect
one of the
example.
saddest things, because this little guy would probably not have survived this winter,
no,
because he doesn't have the skills,
yeah.
he doesn't have the coat, nobody taught him to survive. So
catch mice and
right, so in a feral colony it would have been a really rough go for him.
So the good eye was your volunteer saw him. Did he come approach her? Because I've had a right away. I food.
Yeah,
I love.
she's been
she felt-
feeding a feral colony on a regular basis.
She felt terrible, because our intake has been so heavy lately
Yeah, right,
that
right.
we're so
A lot of people say we can't take any
we
more
can't
cats,
take,
yeah.
and she's apologizing, and I said, no, this
what a
this
love.
is who we're here
for
to help.
Yeah,
This
the
is
little
what
guy.
we do.
I mean, he's very attached to human beings. That crying you heard was because he was separated from Pam and Jody.
My goal is that whoever owned this cat, whatever household he was born into, will be able to spay the mother cat, because obviously they didn't
Right.
want the kittens,
Right,
or
right.
they couldn't afford to
Right.
care for the kittens
Right.
properly. So, or they had to move, they were foreclosed on, they didn't know there were
We have
shelters.
a lot of nursing home
Yeah.
people. The families say they're going to take care of the cats. I mean, my mother's elderly, and the one thing she said is, don't. I said, I would never dump your cats. They're elderly too. I will have to find, if my cats are still here, I'll have to find a no-kill shelter. I will never dump the cats, but that's a big, we have seen an influx at Connecticut Cat Connection, just people put in nursing homes, people having cancer, people whose families say they'll take care of the animals and then can't. Either they have their own animals or they have a dog at home that won't get along with cats or whatever. But I mean, this is a perfect example. I'm overjoyed you bought him. I didn't know you were going to. He
was picked this morning.
He
Like,
is a
would be a
dog.
good guy to
Well,
come
he
along.
sure is the good guy. Like I said, wished I had gotten to him first.
I think really what's important to know, and Jody will probably want to talk about what Protectors of Animals is all about, how long they've been around, is by opening the spay-neuter clinic, we're really closing the gap and providing a service that will work so beautifully with this shelter and with all the surrounding shelters. It's such a needed service to be able to provide medical care, basic medical care at a low cost that will be able to help the shelter, our own shelter, and many others, and really be able to provide for all the needs.
Yeah, it's really, and it's I call the clinic staff the dream team because everybody who is coming into work for us has prior experience at high volume clinics, so it's coming together like a perfect puzzle.
Amazing.
With
It's
the
an
time,
amazing
the place.
blessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Time, the place.
And the
Yeah.
people.
Yes,
made it.
and POA was involved with another spay-neuter clinic, but it was a bit out of our zone. So to bring something close to the Hartford or Central Connecticut area is going to really help a lot of rescues who are either driving to
Or
Massachusetts
Plainville. We just had to
or
go
Rhode
down to Plainville
Island.
this week
Right.
with one cat because you have to spread the
Yep.
joy.
Right.
You know, you can't. You know, the vet, you owe
Sure.
so much to the vets too.
And we will work with other clinics too. We do
Absolutely.
have a program that is Spay Connecticut, which is an informational hotline where you can call in and we will direct you to the closest low cost or affordable spay-neuter facility. So if we are unable to help, we are still going to help people get to a facility that is more convenient for them.
Can you tell me? That just went out of my head. We were talking about the low-cost spay neuter and helping people get to the facilities closest
We actually
to
hope
them.
to offer transportation down the road too.
Yeah, wow,
Yes.
that's something. Because we use our
Yeah.
volunteers to say, "You got a minute? Can you run
Yeah.
down to Plainville?" You know, everybody who volunteers is just so. And most people have full-time jobs, but they're just so willing to give the time to the cat. In your clinic, you're going to be doing like the trap, neuter, and release.
Yep.
You're going to be doing other local
Owned
clinics,
cats
hopefully.
and dogs, yeah.
Cats and dogs. Hartford, here's my thought that just went out of my head because I had somebody here. Hartford used to give vouchers out. Do they still do that? And can you use them at your clinic?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if
State,
they're. I
there's
thought
state low
vouchers.
cost vouchers,
Yeah.
and then also animal control. When someone adopts a pet, Frank Robato with the APCP program has the voucher system where you pay $50 to adopt a dog from the municipal
Okay.
pound. They can take that voucher, and at our clinic especially, there will not be a lot of upcharges.
Okay.
We'll keep it really close. So they're basically going to be able to get their dog spayed, neutered, vaccinated. We can do a couple other things for them since it'll be a new pet like a heartworm test,
Right,
and give that dog a really good start. So hopefully it'll encourage people to the ease of adopting from
Right.
local shelters, which is
Right.
critical.
Yeah, because they can't
Yeah.
hold them very long. They can't hold them as
Yeah.
long as that no kill. I
And
had
they're still-
Sherry D.
yeah,
Bernardo,
yes.
I think it was on a while ago, about a year ago, and I know they have very limited time. And you'll see that come up all the time on Facebook. I'm hooked into the other clinics. This guy's got 24 hours. Like, oh God.
And there's some great dogs in the municipal shelters, and unfortunately, not really able to handle cats, which is why POA takes in basically in places 700 cats a year because
Right.
there's people don't know what to do with a cat they
Right,
can't
right.
keep.
Well, and
you
again,
doing?
for
Oh, this one should be on a Christmas card. I'm sorry. He should be on a Christmas
I
card.
know, I want to
Again-
adopt it by the time I go
No,
home.
I know.
for the smaller rescues like POA and some of the even smaller groups that are working, there really isn't any municipal outlets for the cats. So it is this network of men and women
Great
who
people.
are
Yeah.
taking care of the cat problem and the cat situation in Connecticut. So
Call them lay people, more or
And we
less.
want to
like-
support them.
Yeah.
We want to
And
help
we
make
wanna
that job
support 'em.
easier.
Because it's a lot of
Absolutely.
I work with another clinic. A lot of out-of-pockets, expenses, even when you run a fundraiser. Oh, I'll pay for the
Right.
place, I'll pay for, anything like that, because, most clinics just don't have it. Now, are you gonna have it up on Facebook soon, this posting as to your fees? No, we can't talk about that because this is I know you're probably nonprofit, this is nonprofit, so, but can they check your fees
Yes,
out?
we have a website, www.poaspay.org. It's under construction, but
Okay.
fees will be there soon. I'm sending out a letter to all animal control
Okay.
shelters and rescues
Okay.
within the next day or so, which will have all information. So when a client calls their local animal control and says, there's a cat that I've seen out in my backyard, I don't know what to do, where can I take it? They can call me and I can say, well, I can help you keep that cat. You can get it spayed. Basic vaccinations will be free. Distemper and rabies with the surgery. And we are not going to try to be everything for this client. We want to give a good start. But I've managed veterinary practices for many years. I have great relationships with local veterinarians. We want to educate clients as to what this animal will need and encourage them to seek all the other care that they will need in their lifetime from a veterinarian in the community, and we can help make that happen. So
And you want to, by educating them, you let them know, this is a lifetime,
absolutely.
for the animal's lifetime, maybe they outlive you, but for the animal's lifetime, and this is what it's going to cost them. And we have had returns, especially between 2007, 8, 9, something, because people lost jobs, and they have to
Yes.
be aware of what. There's also now, I think Enfield has an animal food pantry.
Yeah.
So, I think it's Enfield has. So you don't have to give up your cat, because that's a companion. And boy, you're already struggling. The last thing you want to do is give up
Yeah.
something
Right.
that loves
It's
you
a
and you
family
love.
member.
It
You're
is a
already
family member.
in a
Yeah.
tough place and
Yeah.
have to give up
And
a family member.
there's an incredible network of animal rescues in Connecticut, and also Friends of Willie is
Yes.
a great food
Yes.
bank.
Is that down in Danbury? Is Friends of
No,
Willie?
no, he's
all
in.
over.
Yeah, he is. I think I met him in Danbury.
You probably did, but he's also he supplies shelters with litter and food and all of that, and he's an awesome nonprofit. And another point I wanted to make about Spay Connecticut is we have had a very generous donation from an anonymous
Amazing. Yeah.
person that we will be able to subsidize for even further
Yes.
our affordable spay neuter for people who
That's wonderful.
Yeah, my
really,
goal will
really
be
need
when
our
someone
help.
calls and they tell me they have a kitten they want to spay or neuter, or they want to get a vaccine, or a lot of times I want to declaw, and I have a little discussion
Yeah, why
that's not
keep
the
it,
right
yeah.
thing, but then we start talking about, we get them interested in the spay, neuter, and vaccine. But my next question is, where's mom? And when I find out that mom's had 3 litters, I'm not going to let that person hang up.
Right,
until
without
we've
getting mom in,
made it.
yeah.
We'll do mom for free.
Right.
We'll break down the price to X amount per cat, just so we can help you get everybody done. And it's a bit of a detective.
You have to be. I mean, I had a conversation with somebody who said, "Oh, I want my children to see birth. I'm going to let the cat have a litter. And what are you going to do with those 5 or 6 kittens? Please take them to a farm.
Yeah.
Get a video, but don't
Well, there's
have
health
them."
reasons.
Ask to foster a cat for
Yeah.
a shelter if you want
Yeah, then
your
yeah, right.
children
If
or
she's
your
pregnant
family
already,
to
yeah.
witness.
Yeah.
Then offer to a shelter to take a mom cat who's very, very close to
Right.
giving birth and have that experience. And it's a controlled situation where the shelter will then
Come
take
back in
care
and
of.
then, take
That's
care of it.
correct.
That drives me crazy.
I know.
And there's a desperate need for fosters. POA has
Yes.
a huge volunteer base, but every summer we are slammed with mom cats that
kitten
are
times, yeah.
close to delivering, or tiny neonate kittens, bottle babies. We need lots of help.
So you need volunteers, and as usual, everybody needs funds. Even with your generous, that's going to, work for so long. 'Cause you got all these
That's
cats and
right.
dogs coming
We
in.
have to keep
So,
going.
we
yeah.
have to finish building the clinic
Right,
and,
I mean,
and
so
make
that's
it ready.
that's a big deal. So can your volunteers find a volunteer application? I mean, prospective volunteers find a volunteer application?
Everything is on the
the
POA website at poainc.org. Our adoption forms are on there, our volunteer forms, and we work in teams. We have clean and feed, we have a med team, we have placement, socialization. There's
a lot of things you
all
can
kinds
volunteer
of
for.
volunteer
Fostering,
work.
yeah.
Foster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Learning
How
to
many
bottle
animals
feed.
do you have currently, dogs and cats, at the shelter?
probably in the cat adoption center, we're probably currently around 40 cats that are fairly comfortable, but we're feeling a little bit of a squeeze. I
Many
have
senior cats. We have
we
many
have
senior
they're
cats,
hard to.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody
we have
wants the
many
kittens.
seniors
You're
right now, and we
Sweet
have
and loving,
cats
yeah.
that are just, they're not Nicholas types.
All right, they're a little. We've had several not Nicholas types.
They're cats,
Yeah.
and
I mean, Nicholas is unusual. I have a cat that I go to kiss her down. She goes, no, don't touch me. I mean, even if I give her a snack that she begs for, this maybe on the head. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm coming into this. I actually started with POA just in February. I'd known Jody and the POA volunteers in different veterinary hospitals I've been involved with where we worked with POA. And I've been in animal welfare, vet medicine for about 30 plus years. I have never worked with an organization that is solely volunteer based, except for myself.
yeah.
And the dedication. So those kitties that are grumpy or come out, they're kind of semi-feral, but we want to give them a chance. We have a socialization team that all day, every day, there's somebody
They're with
coming
them,
in to
yeah.
work with the cats, get them adjusted, and the medical care the cats get is amazing. We take 16-year-old cats off the railroad tracks, and if they need blood work to make sure their kidneys are okay, they need a dental. So the medical bills are very high. The clinic will help reduce that to some degree for the spay-neuter. And my job has been to develop great relationships with area vets who've been wonderful to us. But we take excellent care of the kitties. We really know them, which I feel really good about.
Well, it's
that.
an organization that has got a lot of cred, street cred. I mean, I've had the organization on a couple other times. You do. You have a good name, good street cred. I think I want that cat. Please tell them that he got lost when you brought him to
I'll
the
look for
station.
one
He
just
got out
like
the
him
carrier.
for you.
He got right.
We
No,
actually have a lot of these that come through the door. We have some really amazing cats.
We really do.
He's a doll baby. He is a doll baby. When we're talking about older cats, because we always find as soon as the kitten season comes, the older cats languish. And when you're talking about older cats, and I don't know if you use this line, but I do when I'm there, they'll say, well, they'll look at a kitten or a little cat. What's their personality like? I don't know yet.
And you're
But
not
this
going
one,
to.
you're not going to. It's like a
Yeah.
baby. How do you know?
Right.
But this old guy here, he's a lap sitter.
Yeah.
And we try to push older people to take an older cat because you don't want to you don't want to have
Right.
your animal outlive you. It's like, don't take a kitten unless you
Yeah.
want to be plucking them off of curtains. I mean, do you have the energy? I don't have the energy for
Right.
kittens. I mean, joke about it, but my cats sleep 18 hours a day. That's fine with me. And it's funny. 3 from the same litter. They're all shy when somebody comes. I say, "You have cats?" Well, I do. They're in the basement.
You wouldn't
And I
know.
say, "You're never going to see those cats because they live in a quiet household, so they acclimate." But so do you have a fundraiser coming up anytime January or after? Because this is going to air in January, and if you want to talk about any upcoming fundraisers, now's the time to get people interested.
Well, we usually have a March fundraiser, a large fundraiser, but this year I think our concentration has been on raising the funds for the capital campaign
Like
for the clinic. Privately. We're probably going to do some kind of a raffle coming into the first of the year, but are continuing to try and solicit companies or corporations or private donors to help us continue that mission. It's one thing to get the brick. It's one thing to get the brick and mortar all together and get it set up, but there are other additional costs that will be really beneficial if we can get another boost up from
And we'll need
our
ongoing support. The large donation that we received was really intended to help subsidize spay-neuter. Fortunately, also going to help support get the clinic started, but I'm buying a lot of really great medical equipment right now for the clinic, and it's very expensive because we really want to have a state-of-the-art facility. We don't want to compromise in the care at all. So it's definitely going to take its toll, and ongoing support of the clinic will enable us to have subsidy funds. So we're doing greatly discounted pit bull prices, really trying to help pit bulls so that they get adopted and they don't. They're wonderful dogs and in the right home, in the right situation, and we don't want to see them just breeding and then being put to sleep in shelters. So especially discounted for that, for ferals, especially discounted. Really just going to try to make it available to anybody who wants to have it happen.
Well, I'm so glad you put him. I'm fascinated. I've never I've had cats all my life.
And I
never
actually
had
don't
a
know
cat.
this cat. I picked him up this morning about
So
quarter
look
of
at
9.
Nicholas, and look what they did for Nicholas.
I really think as rescue people, though, we do tend to take the ones that are a little special.
Yeah. I got a couple of special ones. Yeah.
And these are the ones that the general public will
ones. Yeah,
come
you look
in.
at the poor one that goes, nobody. Speaking of special, I just took it off of my Facebook, and we'll wind this up with your phone number and all. But the first cat I ever got adopted out, he came in, his owner died. He had one ear bent from, I guess, a tumor that he
Chronic
had to
ear,
get right.
yeah.
He had the one ear up. He had buck fangs. He had eyes like owls. He was pitch black and had a stump for a tail. Got caught in
Nice.
something. We got him adopted.
I was gonna say,
I think I put in the paper. This is a face only a mother could
Yeah.
love, but somebody did.
Yeah.
But I was so proud to get
Yeah.
that one cat adopted
And
more than any of the others, because
Yeah.
every other go, oh my God, what is it?
Yeah.
It didn't
this
even look
time
like a
of
cat.
year,
Right.
this
Yeah.
time of year after the kitten season is really my favorite, because it is and gives the older
A
or the
chance to
adult
shine.
cats an opportunity to find a home.
Home.
So the winter we get a little rest from the kittens.
Right.
Very
to-
short rest.
Very
Yeah,
short.
yeah.
To gear up for March and the onslaught,
Onslaught,
but
yeah.
this is their time right now, and hopefully we'll have folks come in and take
we
them.
really know these cats' personalities, which is great.
Right.
If someone comes in, okay, so they may be over 7, but medically they're up to date.
Right.
And we can say this cat loves to do such and such. You're a
Oh,
silly
look at
goose.
you,
gotta
little
show off,
spoiled
Nicholas.
boy. Oh my God. Oh my
He's a
God.
kitten, you can tell
he
that.
is. He's like, now he's gonna groom and throw up again probably. But
Hey, that's what it's
That's
all
like
about.
projectile vomiting kids, But so people, look what they've done for Nicholas. I mean, you're not going to find that cat probably for another 10 years, but
We get a
please
lot
do
of
go.
these in,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, so they're saying they do. I'll be over there too. So please visit Protector of Animals, Protectors of Animals, whether you're looking for a dog or cat. If you want to give your phone number now, your hours of operation, when you're open, that would be helpful.
We're open on Saturdays for cat adoptions. All other days are by appointment, and by appointment for our dogs at the 2 kennels that we have. Our number is 860-569-0722 to reach Protectors of Animals. And Pam, you
We have a brand new phone number, so
Okay, I think Howard will probably get that in there.
I know, but it's 860-206-7922. The phone is live. I have a voicemail on there. We are making appointments. We already have a number of surgery appointments booked for when we open January 10th.
So there's
And-
no reason not to have your cat spayed or neutered
That's
or your
right.
dog now. And these are lovely people, state-of-the-art clinic. And again, you
We'd love
might
to
need
talk to
another
you.
one like that over there. I'm going to go over and
Well,
look.
Nicholas has been neutered, so there won't be any
Yeah,
more
there won't be any
Nicholas.
others like him. See, that's the downside.
Well, our goal is actually to put ourselves out of business
Right,
as
right,
well as a
yes.
clinic. That would be the goal. That
Right.
my goal, personal, and I believe all my staff, is that every pet born will have a home.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
such a dream.
I know.
That we don't have pets that are abandoned and people can't care for, but that every pet would be able to find a home.
I mean, at some point, you must be like me when you start reading these abandoned, dumped at the river, dumped on the road. You start to get a hardened attitude towards people. I hate to say that. I almost feel like I can't read one more of those stories,
I know.
But then you think, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. You're doing what you can.
That's
and
right.
It's one less.
That's right.
It mattered to that one. It
That's
mattered
right.
to that one.
It matters
you know?
to every single one.
Every single one you work
Absolutely.
with.
And to the people that love them and the people that are trying to do the right thing. Yes, you little goofball.
This was a yoga cat too, people. He did
It's-
yoga.
It's
can
time
tell.
to play.
Yeah. Yoga. So I thank you so much for coming.
It was wonderful.
And
Thank you.
I
Thank
take
you.
time out of your day. It's busy, and this.
Hopefully,
will,
we'll be back to report in a while and tell you
I'd
just
love to have you
how
back.
many
I'd love to have you
surgeries
back
we've
in
done and
spring,
how we're
you know,
helping.
and bring another Nicholas, please. One that's adoptable, so I can always say to my husband, I don't know, I found him in the studio, he's just roaming around. It's like he's got a moratorium on cats right now, but
Whenever I see the adopted sign on one of the cats, I go,
yeah, what else I gotta take home? That's like potato chips. Right?
that's
My
right.
husband of 38 years knows knows every day could be a different carrier walking in, a carrier going. He'll open up the bedroom door and say, "Oh, there's a different cat in there today.
Can I
I'm just
get it,
fostering it."
There
Well,
you go.
I'll tell you, he's a fantastic cat. I'm so glad you did bring him.
Yeah.
You made me happy today. It made me
Yeah.
smile. So thank you again
Thank
for coming, and
you.
we will have you back in spring. We'd like a
Awesome.
report on that.
Excellent.
And so people, you have kitties, dogs that have to be spayed or neutered, or you are in the process of getting one, please don't go to pet shops or puppy mills or breeders. There are so many animals out there that might not be full bred that are so beautiful and need homes. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.